We are here at South Etobicoke exploring some of the buildings here that were industrialized through decades of development. Sixth Place Toronto is a project set up by UofT that explores how far our workplaces have come since the 1950s. After a night of classroom discussions, guests joined the UofT speakers in a trek across South Etobicoke. There, they explored the hidden layers behind the area. On the outside, it's a quiet passageway for cars in transit. On the inside, local communities come together separate from the surrounding businesses. Places such as the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Centre were one of two stops for the group. The architects admired the structures and asked questions about how the development was going.
Tibet has we have a different unique language and culture, so which we don't want to eradicate, so which we want to save. So now, having said that, when a handful number of Tibetans were here, we thought of having a community center, so where we can, teach our younger generation, the youth, the students, our language, and to preserve our culture and those kind of things. So, in order to have that, so we really thought that it's very important to have a community center.
South Etobicoke's businesses aren't all run by corporations making your electricity, steel, and other resources. Independent ones like the Wood Studio showed the group why they set up shop here.
Well, it's funny because really this is a satellite for me. So my home is really Toronto and I just come out to work. I don't know, can you think of anything strange? Just maybe my shopmates? No.
Yeah. I don't think it's strange. It's just a different part of the city. It's just a lot of nondescript, sort of low-rise industrial buildings. I guess all the strange stuff is probably just what happens inside them and all the people there.
Yeah, we don't interact that much with our community. That's kind of interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Proximity to Toronto, because a lot of us are in Toronto, and being able to find the kind of space we needed. I think being on the highway was helpful. And Toronto there really isn't anything left at this scale in Toronto for industrial, for small industrial. And that was a big draw for us.
Jesse Lecavalier, writer and associate professor at UofT, was one of the three speakers in the talk. He says there's a certain kind of fascination with buildings being repurposed for communities.
But I think that because it's a formerly industrial landscape, the relationship between the buildings is more continuous because of the connection between the rail traffic, for example. So I think you get a different kind of sequence because you have access not through the main roads, but through the secondary and tertiary structures, almost like a kind of industrial laneway structure. So I think that was a nice discovery somehow, a nice surprise to learn about that.
The project literally takes people down memory lane in South Etobicoke. The industries might be here to stay, but their history could also hold some answers for future businesses in South Etobicoke. Clement Go, skedline.com.